Do you know what flower this is? No? Well, this is Anaphalis javanica, also known as the Javanese edelweiss, an unfortunately critically endangered species of edelweiss flower. This is Surya Kencana, the montane savanna which these beauties call home. In fact, did you know it's one of the few savannas in West Java? This is due to the region's wetter climate and higher population density compared to Eastern Java. And this right here is Mount Gede Pangrango National Park, where Surya Kencana and its edelweiss flowers can be found. You'd think such a unique place would be properly and effectively protected, but that's unfortunately not the case. Obviously, trash is bad, but what people often only consider is that, oh, well maybe animals will eat the trash and they'll get hurt. Or, oh, trash looks bad and smells bad, so it's gonna ruin my experience of the area. And those are all valid points. But what people often fail to consider in addition to that is that as part of a river basin, any trash and contaminants at the top of the mountain will trickle down, and that will very likely affect the many people and wildlife living downstream. In addition to that, the trash is posing a huge risk to the edelweiss flowers that the national park is trying to protect, with people from Hiduplah Hati Indonesia and other cleanup organizations reporting that they find dead edelweiss plants at Surya Kencana due to the massive trash problem. A large factor of the trash problem is the high numbers of unsustainable tourism. While tourism itself isn't inherently unsustainable, with up to 600 hikers per day, a high percentage of these hikers being unaware or simply careless, and the national park failing to implement proper checks and measures to protect itself, this tourism becomes unsustainable and thus a detriment to the national park and its ecosystems. And so we started the Gunung Gede Initiative, which we recently renamed to the Green Gede Initiative. This initiative aims to tackle the trash and unsustainable tourism problem in and around the national park by building a culture of sustainability and stewardship, along with incorporating sustainable practices into local culture and businesses. We hope to launch various efforts as a part of this initiative, such as school activities and workshops, public events, community cleanups, sustainable business certifications, and much more. But an effort which we are focusing on in specific is the Sustainable Mountain Guide Partnership and Certification Program. Within this program, we hope to partner with guides, train them on sustainable practices, and certify them. And as part of this program, they will collect trash from their clients and some trash they run into on the way up the mountain, which will then be compiled and temporarily stored in a facility at Surya Kencana. Then, a team of volunteers from Hiduplah Hati Indonesia will hike the mountain and bring down the trash on a scheduled basis. But, before we get into these more long-term and logistically intensive efforts, we opted to launch the initiative with a community cleanup of about 35 people, consisting of members of Hiduplah Hati Indonesia, volunteers, and our mountain guide Samsul's team. So after planning out the cleanup, pitching the idea to potential sponsors, acquiring the needed permits, and more, we set off to hike Mount Gede. While it was a moderately challenging hike, we made quick progress up the mountain. Stopped at a couple of warungs, continued on, stopped to have lunch, continued on once more, sadly saw an illegal dump site, then made our way to Surya Kencana. We then made our way over to the camp, where we got settled in, did a bit of cleaning around the camp, had dinner, then spent the night. We then woke up and early before sunrise, had breakfast, then gathered together for the opening ceremony. Took a few pictures and videos, welcomed everybody and thanked them for coming, debriefed them on what we'd be doing, and then we all set off. One of the goals of this cleanup was to put up a sign next to a spring at the southwestern end of Surya Kencana, warning against littering near the spring. This is vital as many hikers and campers at Surya Kencana use the spring as a water source, and as part of Mount Gede and Mount Pangrango's broader watershed system, it likely feeds into the Cisadane, Ciliwung, Citarum, and Cimandiri river basins, which span across 3 provinces in western Java. And so the cleanup team headed over to the spring with the sign and cleaned up trash along the roughly 1.3 kilometer walk. Came across various types of trash along the way, but here are some of the things that stuck out to us. With the rest of Indonesia, single-use plastics and wrappers were very prevalent. Plastic bottles containing urine were also a very common yet unpleasant sight. Trash would be found stuffed under edelweiss plants, which we assumed to be people employing an out-of-sight, out-of-mind mentality in regards to trash. Plastic bottle caps were also very common, which might suggest people were trying to do the right thing by bringing down the bottles they bring up, but end up leaving behind these bottle caps, some of which sit there for so long they get buried in the dirt and we have to dig them out with the heels of our boots. Once we reached the spring, we found a spot for the sign and hammered it in. With the sign put up, we cleaned up around the spring itself for the sake of the health of the other hikers, the ecosystem, and all those downstream. Thank you so much to our sponsors who helped our Yayasan Hiduplah Hati Indonesia with their project at Surya Kencana, Gunung Gede. Specifically, thank you to La Premier Villa Dasha, Samsul Petualang,
The Permit House, and Samsul Mr. Horror. Thank you!
This truly would not have been possible without the support of our sponsors and various other supporters. Truly. To all of those whom are mentioned on the signs, and all of those who decided to donate anonymously, terima kasih. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. With the sign set up, we made our way back to the camp, collected some more trash along the way, and settled in for lunch as the rest of the volunteers returned. With everyone well fed, we began weighing each volunteer's trash bags to determine who the top trash pickers were. We gave out the prizes to the top 3 volunteers, which was then bumped up to the top 4, then handed out the door prizes to the rest of the volunteers. In the end, we collected a total of 300 kilograms of trash from Surya Kencana. This might have only been a fraction of the trash polluting Surya Kencana, Mount Gede, and the national park as a whole. It was still a great impact, and it just marks the start to our goal to clean up Mount Gede Pangrango National Park. After some closing remarks and finishing up the closing ceremony, we began heading down while some others stayed behind to help take down the camp. After a few hours of hiking down, we made it back to base camp, and we were soon on our way back home to HQ. Overall, this was such a great event. Great sponsors, great volunteers, great people in general, and I'm personally so proud of what we were able to achieve. Like 300 kilograms, wow. But once again, this is just the start. 300 kilograms is just a fraction of the amount of trash on Surya Kencana, Gunung Gede, the national parks and mountains across Indonesia. There's so much more to be achieved. And one goal I would love to see us achieve is for us to set up proper facilities at Surya Kencana and Gunung Gede to help our guides and volunteers in cleaning up the mountain. So, like with any of our other projects and with the Yayasan as a whole, Hiduplah Hati Indonesia and its initiatives would not be possible without donations. So, if you'd like to support us, here are a couple of ways. If you'd like to support us monetarily and you have some money, go check out our website. We're currently working on being able to accept donations directly from the website. If that's not set up, feel free to email us at contact@hiduplahhati.id and we'll get things sorted for you. And if you don't have any money, we'd just love it if you could just follow our socials, share what we post, and share the word that we need to really make a change. We need to take care of the environment because it's a gift to us and we need to really protect it so our children can see it one day. Thank you.